Good morning, everyone. This is Pep Warfield's Creation Studio. I need to turn another light on, but I'm going to work on making a wooden beer mug. This is a piece of apple, which has been recently cut about 2 weeks ago. When I stopped the other day, I was turning a tenon so I could use my Nova chuck. Where's the camera? I didn't turn it small enough, so I gotta fix it. And I also have to flatten out this part because it's a little crooked, and that'll affect being able to put it in the tenon correctly. So bear with me a second. I gotta turn another light on. That's a little better. I wonder if I turn this one off. I'll keep it on. All right, so I got to work on lighting and all that kinds of stuff. New at this, so bear with me. I have a webcam in my tablet and a headset on, which all have wires, so I have to be careful I do not get them wrapped up in this while it's spinning. That would be bad. All right, so let me get this going again. My alarm's going off on my phone. Bear with me a second while I turn that off. Now I'm getting my headset caught on stuff. That's not good. All right, so I need to flatten that out. Which tool should I use? I'll probably use this one. See how that goes. Let's make sure that's tight. This is still on the screw-in plate, so I have screws going directly into the wood, which isn't a problem because I'm hollowing out this side of the piece of wood for the inside of the oh my, maybe I should go back to bed. I can't think. Yeah, beer mug. Okay, so let's get this running. I got to place my box down here because I don't know if you saw yesterday, I have a magnet on the side of this, but it keeps pulling off. So let's get this going. I tend to babble a bit when I do this. And after being stuck in a house and just talking to people over the phone for work and over Teams, you get kind of lonely, but it is what it is. I gotta raise this up some because it's not quite high enough for center. All right, you gotta turn it up a little bit more. So I'm using a treadmill motor and sending a pulse width modulated signal to the control board to control the speed, and you can tell at lower speeds it's not very consistent. That's something I'm gonna have to work on either electrically or through the program that I wrote. So but I usually don't turn at a very slow speed. So let me start the outside of this. Actually, I don't want that one. I want this one. Oops. God. I left the center. Now I'll show it to you on the tailstock. And I know I'm off camera, but I'll show you. So I left that in a tailstock. I just caught my elbow on the tip there, so I got to take it out. I got to take that out before I started. Safety first, and part of me wanting to do this is to show people a little bit of critical thinking when it comes to mistakes, because I believe you have to be able to think around issues or think through issues Seems like we're not doing enough of that these days. So if I make a mistake, I'm going to show it. And I'm going to tell you about it. And we're going to talk about how I get through it. Again, I think that's something that's missing in our society today. And I'll use the example, and I probably said this before, at least some of my friends know it. My dad was very smart, and he taught us how to do things. But the biggest lesson that we got from Dad was not to be afraid to try. Even if Dad didn't know how to do something or how to fix something, he tried. What's the worst that can happen? So I adjust my tool rest, get a little closer. And because I'm just sliding it forward, I'm not going to turn the lathe off because I've not much of a chance of me screwing that up. I have moved the tool rest before and caught it on the piece of wood and sent it flying. So you do have to be careful with stuff like that. But yeah, Dad grew up during the Depression. So, his lesson when he was young was that, you had to do for yourself. You didn't just go out and hire a plumber or, things like that for stuff that you can do. I'm going to turn it off. Yeah, it's pretty flush, so I just need to make that a little thinner. And to do that, I need to adjust the tool rest again. So if you do have any questions, you can post them or any comments. I don't have the tablet where I can actually see it unless I look up. So if you ask a question or post a comment, I will eventually see it. I don't really want to pay attention to that at the same time I'm turning. I want to stay focused on this because it's the safe thing to do. If I know I'm not speaking really clear right now. I had just recently had some oral surgery and got dentures. I don't have them in right now because it's still early. And I'm also having some issues with them that we're trying to get, them adjusted correctly so they fit right. And this has been an ongoing process. So I tend not to put them in first thing when I get up because I want to save it for a little bit later. Part of the process of getting old, I guess. Also, had a lot of issues with my teeth just breaking, splitting, even when eating something soft like a hot dog. And it's not really because I didn't take care of them. I think a lot of it had to do with I'm a compulsive teeth grinder and clenching my teeth, and it's been on a lot of medications that cause dry mouth. So that I think all those things combined had an effect on my teeth. And I think it just got to the point where it would have cost too much to try to save what I had left. And there's no guarantee that fixing them would have lasted for any length of time. And it would have been, I think, prohibitively expensive. So, it looks like I might have two people on. I'll say hi to them. Hi. I'm not sure how I can tell who they are, but I'm glad you're on. I'm going to switch this over to the chuck now so I can do some real turning. So one of the things I need to put on this is a pin so I can lock the shaft. And also a brake, because right now it takes a while for it to spool down. All right, so hopefully I can get these screws out without much problem. I'm using construction screws, which are not the best, but that's what I have. I've had one break off inside already. Not really sure what the best kind of screw for this is. I know drywall screws are not the best because they snap really easy. These construction screws seem to be pretty hardy. Hey, it's Jordan and Kirsten. Welcome, guys, down from New Zealand. Hope you guys are doing well. Haven't talked to you in a while. Put my chuck on. So again, this is a Nova G2 chuck. It's nice because it self-centers, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I got it down far enough. So I gotta put my key in to lock it in place. So because I turned the tenon flat, I can just put it in and it will be self-centered, and I shouldn't be off balance from the turning I did yesterday. So I gotta put my tool rest in position, and I'm also going to use the tailstock on this just because it's a pretty big piece of wood and I don't want it flying out of the truck, which has happened before. Yeah, this is a pretty old lathe. I got it from a guy whose father was a shop teacher, and he got it out of the shop, a high school shop back in the 40s, I believe. So it needs a little TLC, but I'm getting it there. I'm going to adjust this so I can move the tailstock in closer. So if you guys, I know Jordan, you've done some live broadcasts in some of your debates. If you have any suggestions on how I could make this a little better, please feel free to add them. I'm hoping to do these frequently, and I'm hoping to get some more cameras and do different angles and stuff, because this is just a lot of fun. So I probably need to move my tool rest a little bit. Yeah, I'm catching on the wood. So moved a little too close. I am also on a couple woodworking Facebook groups, and I'm gonna again mention the one I enjoy most is the Mid-Maryland Woodturners group. They hold regular meetings where they all bring their lathes and work on stuff, and those guys make some amazing things. I haven't attended the meeting yet or officially joined their live group, mostly because of COVID. But I do hope to get there soon and learn some stuff from master wood turners. These guys are awesome with some of the stuff they do. Advertise and collaborate is what I would recommend. It takes a while to build an audience. All right, awesome. I will talk to you some more about that, but that is a good idea. Again, I'm really new to this, so I need all the help I can get. So I'm trying to keep these at 30 minutes or less. We're at 15 right now. Excuse me, need a drink. So I'm going to start turning and we'll see what we can get done. That's what it is. I smell something warm. I left the glue gun plugged into the light that I just turned on, which I turned the whole outlet on. So let me turn that off quick before I burn the house down. I'm gonna make for an interesting live show. Somebody's house catching on fire. So I'm using a roughing gouge, which is curved. It's kind of slices through the wood as it goes through, instead of trying to pull it off like a plane does. Awesome piece of work. It's also really thick, so it doesn't flex once you go past the tool rest. Let me turn this up some more, and let me stop talking and pay attention to what I'm doing. Come on. Ah. So I can get this rounded down pretty quick. I just roughed it out yesterday. I wanted to get it on a 10 and 10 on it so I could put it on the chuck. This is still really green. Actually, it's dried a little bit. It's not as green as what it was. When it's fresh off the tree and I do this, you can see the juices flying off. I get quite wet. That's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Turning green's interesting because it's very easy to turn. But if it doesn't dry correctly, you get a lot of cracking or warping. So it's all about drying it right once you get it roughed out. I know a lot of people will rough it out and let it sit for 6 months. I have my wife had a rice cooker that she was going to throw away, and I was like, no, I'll take that to the shop. I found it very useful. On a low temperature, it now that would be something. Yeah, I really don't want to catch my house on fire while I'm live. I did catch myself on fire once in my shop when it was in the shed. And I don't want to do that again. I was grinding a piece of wood with a piece of metal with a cutoff wheel. It actually cutting it on the handheld grinder, and the sparks were flying beside me, and I had a sweatshirt on like this. I don't know if you can see it. And I started getting warm, and I looked down, and my sweatshirt was on fire. So no, I don't want to do that again. In fact, my wife bought me some pretty heavy leather aprons that Christmas. So yeah, I learned from my mistakes. I will tell you, I've made quite a few when I had my shop in the shed, because I did a whole bunch of different things. I'll tell you, this is kind of funny, maybe not. I'm a scout leader, and twice a year we do leadership training for new scout leaders, and I do the bit on campfires and fire safety and stuff. And the one year I was trying to do it, I really wanted to show them how to use a bow and spindle to start a fire. And I've never done it before myself, but I had hurt my shoulder, so I couldn't do that motion with the bow and spindle. So I said, well, have a drill. Why don't I hook up the spindle to a drill and not use the bow? So I'm in my shed where I had my woodworking tools, my salt, a bunch of this stuff. And, of course, gasoline for the lawnmowers and stuff. And I'm sitting there trying to get a coal to start so I can, learn how to do this. And I'm in there for about 10 minutes. I look up and the shed is just filled with smoke. I don't know what I was thinking, why I was trying to do that in the shed. But that now is a topic of discussion when I do the training. I like to train by what not to do. And the reason I say that is, when my brothers and I get together, or when my kids get together, the things we remember most and that we can now laugh about are the stupid things we did that, we could have gotten injured on, but it's now kind of funny. So I believe the humorous things we remember are the important lessons. All right, so I got to move my tool rest in a little bit. I'm not going to turn it off. Well, yeah, I am. I don't like to stick my hand underneath a piece of wood that's spinning, especially with it being so close to the piece of wood. That would be bad, getting your hand stuck in there, or having a tool fly around the shop. All right, so try to get it as close as possible because the force of the wood going against the tool goes right at the tip of the tool. If you have it back too far, then you have an imbalance and the force wants to tip the tool up this way. And especially if the tool catches on the wood, that could be bad. You could break the tool, you could bend it, you could have it go flying, you could get the wood to just tear out of the chuck. I made that mistake a couple last year, I think. I had maybe it's 2 years ago. I had bought a Craftsman lathe at a yard sale, and I brought it home, and I was excited to use it. So I put a piece of wood in between the tailstock and headstock, and I powered it on and had it spinning and put the tool against, and it caught, and the wood went straight up in the air and back down right on my head. That hurt. I saw stars. So, all right, I'm going to crank this up pretty fast because it's still pretty big, bigger than what I want it to be. I need to turn it down to a size that I want. And I'm making a lot of mess that I have to clean up later, which is interesting. Crank it up. There you go. So, if you're interested in some of my products and want to buy something, check out my Facebook page, As the Wood Turns, Musings in Wood. You can also email me at musingsinwood@gmail.com. And I am going to be on a gallery website shortly, and I'm excited about that, but I got to make some things to post on there. And I will let you know what that is when we go live. So I'm excited about all these things. I do this mostly for pleasure. I think it's good to have a hobby, keep you busy, keep your mind focused on things that are beneficial instead of worrying about stuff that you have no control over. So you can see this shavings off this go all over the place. I will be covered by the time I'm done. We're at 25 minutes. I'll go a little bit longer today. When it's 4:30 a.m. here. So I got a half hour before I have to get ready for work. I'm working from home, so getting ready for work means getting a shower and putting my sweatpants back on, and that takes me all of 10 minutes. 11 if I put my teeth in. I do have to put them in today to see how the adjustments they made last night worked. So I'm trying not to put too much pressure on. You can, like I'm doing right now, put a lot of pressure and dig in, take off a lot more. I tend not to do that because you have more risk of your tool catching. So I'm going to adjust this again. Adjust it again, and then I'm going to crank it up really fast because it is really balanced. And it's fun to see things go fast. Probably dangerous, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? All right. So again, I'm just roughing it out to about the shape I want. And then I will, I probably could have used a smaller piece of wood, but this is all I have at the moment. I have to go out and cut more. So I'm really wasting a lot of wood. But again, the only piece I have 2 more pieces, but they're actually bigger than this. And they're going to be candle lanterns. So I'm trying to get this down. Now, I'll show you when I'm done. I roughed out another one just to see, get a gauge of the shape and try to figure out what I'm going to do for a handle. And I'll show you that in a bit. The mistake I made is I did the outside without hollowing out the inside, and then now it's a little too skinny for me to hollow it as deep as I want to. So I still may try to use it, but right now it's just going to be a template. Yeah, I'm just covered. And I should have a mask on, dust mask. I don't, because then you won't be able to hear me. I got enough speaking problems. Also, with this being really wet wood, it doesn't get really small dust like all right, I almost have this to the shape I want and the size. That's going to be one hell of a big beer mug. But hey, when it comes to beer, isn't bigger better? Now, all right. So, what do you think? A 2-pint mug? Is that enough beer for one sitting? Let me move the camera down so you can actually see the size of it. Turn it off. So, yeah, that's my hand to give you a guesstimate on size. Do you think that's a big enough beer mug? What do you think, guys? So I want to move the tailstock out of the way because I'm going to start turning out the center. And we will finish that. Looks good. So the other thing I have to look at is how to seal the wood. I've been looking into that, and there's some people say just use beeswax. If it's a hot drink, of course, beeswax would not work. I like beeswax because of the color that it gives, and it's more of a natural feel to the wood. I don't know how that will hold up to drinking and washing. I'm a little concerned about this crack right here. That's a crack that was grown into the tree. If that goes the whole way through the center, we might have an issue. You never know these things until you start turning them down. But I mean, I could always seal it up with epoxy. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I am going to turn a few minutes more. I'll start the inside, and I'll move the camera down so you can get a better view. I had this handy little selfie thing that I bought at, one of those import stores, so it was less than $5, and it was working nice, but I broke it. So right now I have my camera taped to a really cool flashlight I got for at a big box tractor store or farm store. It was on their discount bin. It was only $5, but it's got a magnetic base and you can move it all different directions. I'm taking a drink quick. Sorry, my mouth gets really dry. So just to take a look at all the wood shavings, most of that is from what I just did. So I have some cleaning up to do now. I do have camera, do that Batman shot where it's always crooked. My big 55-gallon barrel over there is actually my vacuum. I did a video on that, so if you're interested in how I did that, please feel free. And this is going to be interesting because I have to be here. So I got to find a better place to put the camera, but for right now, I guess this will do. I could probably, nope, not strong enough. So you're stuck with this view. And I apologize for that. I will work on a way to get that a little better. So I'm going to get this started by cutting a hole down through the center. And then I'll use my roughing gouge to start hollowing it out. My control box, because it no longer has a magnet attached to it, is getting covered. So let me use this. So turning out the inside is where you usually have issues with tools catching, because you can't always have the tool rest right at the tip of the tool, and that makes it difficult. Crank it up a little bit more. There are a lot of guides out there for RPMs on a lathe and which RPM is best for which process. I don't have a way to gauge that yet. I want to put a sensor on to do RPMs, but I just kind of do it by what I'm comfortable with. I think I have a loose wire because I didn't do this before. This slowing down. I have a video on several videos on the channel about how I built the controller and some of the issues I ran into. Turn it up some more. So please take a look at those. If you're interested in wood turning, there are a lot of great YouTube videos out there, probably better than mine. And also check if you have a local wood turning club in your area. And I know some woodworking stores also do classes. So I am just going down through the center of this. It makes turning with the rough and gouge a little easier. So since I'm close to the edge, I can start cutting out some of it. I can't go too far with this tool because it flexes too much. And that's about as far as I can go safely without launching the wood across the room. I just put too much pressure between the wood and the blade. The rough and gouge doesn't do that quite as much. See the wood shavings flying? I get covered. My shop gets covered. And this is like some kind of thin noodle. I'm not sure what kind. It wouldn't be spaghetti, but it's very flat and very long. And this stuff, with it being moist, will clog up my vacuum pipes. All right. So I'm going to turn over to my rough and gouge and turn up the speed a little bit more. I'm going to use my smaller one. So I'm focusing on the center right now. The outside, I'm still not sure how what size diameter I'm going to use for the cup. I may decide to go thinner. So I'm just leaving it at this right now. Once I get it hollowed out, then I'll widen it as I go. I'll go faster. Go faster, go faster. When I was in first grade, we had a bus driver who was pretty old. Now, I'm not taking a whole lot off at a time here. And I'll run into areas where the density of the wood's a little different, or just because it's very wet. You can see it bouncing my tool. Anyways, the bus route went back this old country road next to a stream, and there's one spot where it was a steep, short hill. So if you went over fast, you got some airtime off your seat. And this was before mandatory seat belts. So we would say to the bus driver, "Go faster, go faster," and he would crank it up a little bit. And I think he probably got it a little more dangerous than he should have, being a bus driver with a bunch of kids. All right, well, you guys have a good day. Take care, and I'm glad you were able to join. Anyways, I'll finish the story quick. Wait, actually, I did finish the story. He would speed up, and we'd go over that bump, and we'd get some airtime. It was fun. Don't think that had ever happened today. So I switched back to my larger rough and gouge. It's working a little better. So I am actually going to cut this off soon because I do have to get ready for work. I will try to do some of this. I'll try to do another live shot today, although I have some candle lanterns I got to work on too. So I started one of those live on Facebook, and I want to finish that on Facebook. So I will also do one of those on here. So it's been a pleasure, guys. Glad you could join. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Stay in touch and stay safe. All right, so we got the gist of this. I'm gonna quit and get ready for work. Take care, and remember to like and whatever else you do with YouTube. Have a great day.